Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm April Martinez.
And I'm Sabrina Daly.
And good morning, Belize. Thank you so much for joining us on this lovely Thursday.
It is
cooler
Thursday,
as they're saying it will be.
And I have to admit, it is cooler. It does feel cooler. As Paul would call it, it's what? Friday Junior.
It's getting to the weekend. It was a very short week, of course, because we came off of a long weekend last week. I hope that you had a wonderful weekend despite your incident. And I hope you all are having a wonderful week as well. Moving into our What's Buzzing topic, Sabrina. There's so many things happening here in Belize and in the world around us. And I was watching our newscast last night and I was kind of juggling through our news and watching outside news and so forth. And the piece that struck me was the conversation with meteorologist Gordon talking about climate change and adaptation here in Belize, because it is going on a record-breaking already of a hotter year this time around from last year. Even though last year broke records, it seems that we're going to be breaking records again this year. And while I was flipping through that particular piece, I also came upon another piece in south of the border. So in South America, it seems that from last year, the Amazon was experiencing severe drought. And scientists have been doing a lot of research in the area. And as of from June to about November 2023, it seems that it was just getting worse and worse. And upon the coming months this year, in the beginning of this year, it has not gotten better. It has not changed. And the drought is now, I guess, not necessarily the cause or the leading cause, but because it's so dry and it's so hot, forest fires are increasing in the Amazon, in Brazil, and parts of Venezuela.
Yeah.
I was very, very shocked at the fact that we refer to the Amazon as the lungs of the earth, right? All of this pristine natural forest, and for it to have not rained in almost half of a year, it's worrisome.
Yeah.
And we are now looking at about over 5,000 active forest fires in south of Venezuela.
5,000.
Over 5,000. I think the number is 5,690, but somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Wow.
And I looked at this and I said, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine having something like that here.
Even half of that, I don't even know how we would be able to handle it. I remember last year, as you mentioned, it was record-breaking temperatures, of course, that resulted in multiple forest fires across the country. And if we're headed in a direction very similar to last year, in fact, even breaking more records, that's not good for us.
I normally watch the show and I look forward to the weather update, because I need to know what I'm going to be, one, wearing for the day, and two, how am I going to go about my day. And when I saw 104 degrees inland, I said, okay, I need to be able to be prepared. And I feel like that's kind of the way we're moving now here in Belize. We kind of keep to our phones or keep to the news to see the weather update, to see what we can do today, which I don't recall in my young adult life, in my younger years, that I would have to do something like that. So on screen, we're seeing footage of the fires in Venezuela. And it's very shocking to me, sorry, that this is climate-driven drought, right? It's very surreal that this is happening in real time right now, and I know Venezuela seems far away, but it's actually not.
Yeah.
And we're talking about climate change and trying to reduce our carbon footprint, and Belize as being one of those countries, that we do our best to combat climate change.
Of course, in our newscast last night, we mentioned that Belize is one of the small island developing states that don't emit as much carbon footprints as other larger first world countries. However, we still bear the brunt of climate change. And I love that you pointed out what's taking place in other areas in the world as opposed to solely what's happening here in Belize, because oftentimes it's important for us to be aware of that. If we stay just skewed to what's taking place in front of our eyes, we miss the bigger picture. And that is that the entire world is being affected by climate change, not only Belize. As you would have mentioned, April, last year we had record-breaking temperatures, and this year is projected to be even worse or maybe the same. So I think ultimately what we need to realize is that it takes every single person to hopefully reverse what has already been the situation that resulted in the climate change and what's taking place over the world. I also read an article yesterday about droughts taking place in parts of Africa, having persons actually moving on foot, trying to migrate to other parts. I believe it was South Africa. There's person moving on foot, trying to migrate as refugees. And it was really an interesting read, because there was an individual saying that they're risking their lives doing so. They're seeing actual skeletons on the way there. That's insane.
I come back to Belize when I am hearing you about that, and I think that places like the Congo are already experiencing extreme water loss. You have other places in northern Europe that the ice caps are melting and people are seeing it before their eyes. And it's insane to me that, here in Belize it's just hot, and it's getting hotter. We're experiencing that here as well. It's that is what we experience to be climate change. And I believe that it's not part of the climate change conversation, but it was a piece last night in the news about not having water in Bullet Tree because of overpopulation and construction. Those are things that will continue to occur and will continue to affect the climate change, right? So we have to be able to, but in anything that we do, whether that be moving, whether that be construction, whether that be planting new products, we have to take into consideration climate change, because it is a factor of our everyday lives. And I don't want us to forget that.
Well, in some positive news as it relates to the temperatures here in Belize, as we mentioned yesterday, we can expect a cold front today, and that was announced by the folks from the National Meteorological Service. So we will be getting further updates from them later on in the show. But as we know so far, it's scheduled to be a bit cooler. Maybe not cold, but cooler than it was yesterday. Hopefully not triple digits.
And moving into another headline for what's buzzing. Sabrina, you brought up an interesting article.
So I was doing some reading yesterday, and perhaps this is good news as it relates to science development. There was an individual, I believe he was over 60 years old, that did a kidney transplant. This would have been his second kidney transplant in the United States. However, he sourced his kidney not from a human being, but from a pig.
What?
This is the first of its kind, the first of I guess, medical developments that took place. And there he is there. I believe he was in a hospital in Massachusetts.
Yes.
He was 62 years old, and apparently it's a genetically modified kidney from a pig. Now, what does that mean, genetically modified? Because I'm not sure if you could just take out a kidney from a pig and just put it in someone else.
They did try to do this once before, and the patient did die. And so what they have done is to remove the quote-unquote bad genes that the pig has
and replace it with human genes. I don't know how that works.
You know, it is something that I was reading this article because you sent it to me, and I kept saying science is just amazing. And I believe it's a 62-year-old Richard Slayman. That patient is now going home. after his successful transplant. And it's really interesting as well because apparently he did have a transplant
in
last
2018.
year. In 2018,
okay. And then it would have failed
last year. Yes, you're right. And it's amazing that even though we have compatible kidneys that you can give to somebody or donate to somebody, the chances of it actually functioning for a lifetime is, it's a minimal chance as well.
And that's something that they would tell you whenever you're doing these transplants. It's not something that's guaranteed to last for the rest of your life, But also what I think is so important is that this ultimately improves the quality of life for this individual only on the basis that he wouldn't be doing dialysis anymore.
Yes.
But what a lot of people don't realize is when you do these transplants, you have to live on certain medications for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I read it and I was so amazed by it.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know if you did this in high school or if any of you viewing did this in high school, but if you were like a science major for biology, you would have to dissect the
frog?
The pig's heart and liver and kidneys. We would dissect these because they were almost similar to humans. And so when I was reading this,
it made sense.
I said, okay, it makes sense. When we did our forensics class and we were trying to take notes of how a possible human body would decompose or how long a human body would decompose, we used a pig because of the skin type and so forth.
Right.
That particular texture would be the same as ours, and so it would be kind of in line with the way we would decompose, so we use a pig instead. So using a pig is not as far-fetched as it may sound. It's just that now we're seeing it work before our very eyes, and I think that's really cool.
I think it's really interesting. Something that did cross my mind was whenever you're including animals in these scientific experiments, there's oftentimes human rights or animal rights activists that come into play. So I'm wondering if this will be something that would spark their interest. Of course, we're not saying that any harm is being caused to an animal, but I'm interested to see what would be the overall reaction from every angle.
I'm looking forward to see how it continues to work, especially since, like we said, he had a failure already with one donation. So I'm really curious to see how long this one lasts. But congratulations, Rick.
Yeah.
We're happy that you were able to go home.
All right. And in our last What's Buzzing topic, we did mention it yesterday. Taiwan experienced a 7.4 magnitude earthquake. And of course, it rattled the entire island. Of course, also there were individuals that would have succumbed to injuries because of the earthquake. I believe it's up to 9 at this point. But hundreds of persons or people are still injured because of it. We also spoke, though, about the Belizean population that are students there or working there, and we were able to get an interview from an individual that is working in Taiwan. I believe she is a teacher.
Yes.
So our colleague Hippolyta Novello spoke to her yesterday, and we just want to share a really quick clip of what she spoke of, what her experience was like, and of course how the Belizean population is handling the situation as it stands.
Well, immediately, I had to kind of regulate myself a bit because your first I thought it was just dizzy, and then I was like, oh wait, it's an earthquake. So I just kind of sat down for a bit thinking let's just wait until it passes, because I live on the 19th floor, so it's not really smart to try to take the elevators down. So I just kind of sat on my bed. Was the most safe location in my apartment, so I just sat there waiting for it to pass.
The earthquake rattled.
All right, that was Melanie Wagner.
Yeah.
As we mentioned, she is working there in Taiwan. I believe she's a teacher there. So she explained what her experience was like. Now, April, I can't imagine being on the 19th floor of a building and realizing that you should already know that you're in an area.
With 19 floors in Belize.
You're in an area that's known to have earthquakes, right? But now that you are all the way up there and feeling this tremor, I can't imagine what her fright must have been like.
Yeah, I have a couple of friends in Taiwan, and so when I got an alert in my phone, actually, when I saw the messages come in, and I was very scared, but they seem to be fine. We have a very large population of Belizeans living in Taiwan, actually. Not just students, but for example, Melanie is living there. She's working there.
She's a teacher.
And they were saying that for the most part, they experience earthquakes on a regular basis. It's not something new, it's not something different, but I mean, well, different in the sense that it was the longest lasting in a while, and it was the strongest in a very long time.
Yeah, I believe it's in 25 years.
Right. And so for them, it was the first time they've experienced something like that, because not even here at home we've had anything.
We experienced tremors from our neighbors.
Our neighbors, right? So we've never experienced something like that. So we're very happy that for the most part, we can count all Belizean heads in Taiwan that they are safe and sound. Well, we are moving on into our show for today, Sabrina. As we mentioned, we keep mentioning, and I know I'm not tired of here, but it's hot. And so we hope that the folks at the Belize Meteorological Service have better news for us today.
Yeah, I think they do. I've noticed a little bit of the clouds. They look kind of like cold front clouds, you know?
Everything looks hazy to me. If you're in Belmopan, you know exactly what I mean. You go outside and you're trying to figure out what that, why it's so bright but also not so bright. It's very, very strange.
Yeah.
In the least, it looks like wet, like severe dust is coming in the area. So I'm looking forward to hearing from the folks at the Belize Meteorological Service for more details.
Well, as we mentioned last night, they announced, and yesterday on the morning show, they announced that we should be expecting a cold front. So we'll be hearing further from them. I know we're hoping for less than triple digit. Yesterday, we would have experienced as high as 104 degrees Fahrenheit inland. And of course, if you were inland, you would have felt that, and it felt even hotter than that.
I can't even begin to express.
Yeah, but you know, I go back to a conversation that we were having on the show. Of course, we would have spoken to a dermatologist yesterday, Dr. Lopez, and he was talking about how the sun affects the skin and things that it can lead to, like skin cancer. And I also thought about illnesses from heat as well. Oftentimes we think that you just need to think about yourself and stay indoors, but also think about persons that are working outside. That's their actual livelihood. As Isani would have mentioned. Also think about the different population that would require more help, like kids, to ensure that they stay hydrated, older persons, disabled persons. It's so important that they are protected from the heat as well.
Agreed. So wherever you are, please do your best to stay as safe as possible. But we'll provide you with an update from the Belize Meteorological Service.
Good morning, Belize. A stationary front over northern Yucatan is supporting somewhat moist conditions over our area. The 24-hour forecast: skies will be sunny with a few cloudy spells today with only isolated showers. Tonight, skies will be cloudy at times. A few showers with a chance of isolated thunderstorms will develop mainly over the coast. The maximum temperatures for today will reach 88 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 94 inland and 78 up in the hills. The low temperatures for tonight will be around 78 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 70 inland and 63 up in the hills. The winds will be from the north-northeast at 10 to 20 knots, and the sea conditions will be light chop to choppy. A high tide will occur this morning at 7:18, a low tide this afternoon at 12:07, another high tide this evening at 6:28, and another low tide early tomorrow morning at 1:41. The sun rose this morning at 5:44 and will set this evening at 6:06. The moon will set this afternoon at 2:11 and will rise early tomorrow morning at 3:26. In the sargassum forecast, latest satellite imagery shows more mats approaching the area. Hence, the risk for sargassum affecting beaches across the country has been increased to medium. In the fire risk forecast for today, the risk for forest or bushfires will be moderate to high. The outlook for Friday and Friday night: skies will be cloudy at times. A few showers and the chance of isolated thunderstorms will affect mainly the coast and southern districts on Friday, with shower activity becoming isolated Friday night. With that, we end this morning's forecast from the Belize National Met Service.
94 inland. You know what? I feel betrayed.
Well, it's a lot less than yesterday.
It is definitely a lot less than yesterday, indeed. Moving on into our show lineup for this morning, we are going to start off our show with talking to representatives from the Ministry of Health and Wellness and the United Nations. They're going to be in to talk to us about World Health Day and climate change.
And in our second segment, it's all about the Belize Tourism Board talking about their new online portal upgrades.
And in our final conversation, if you haven't been keeping up, which I kind of haven't, it is all about the Belize basketball season. And we are going to be having the Belize City Defenders in studio to talk about this weekend's game. Right. But before we get into all of that and more, we got to take a break. When we come back, it's all about celebrating World Health Day. Don't go away.
For 19 years, SMART has been the pulse of our nation. A journey of growth, innovation, resilience, and unity.
From the first call that bridged distances to the data that brought us closer than ever, SMART has been there, weaving threads of connection across our beautiful land.
We have been active in providing innovative solutions to enhance our customers' lifestyles. Over the years, SMART has developed and provided various services to meet customers' needs.
To the dreamers, doers, and the believers, thank you for making SMART a part of your story. For 19 years of trust, loyalty, partnership, and shared experiences.
As we celebrate 19 years of connecting lives and dreams, let's keep the rhythm alive. Together, let's continue to shape our future one connection at a time.
Come and be a part of the SMART family, where we empower you and our country today, tomorrow, and beyond.
SMART, bringing people together.
Discover a shopping experience like no other at the V Department Store. They carry a vast array of products at unbeatable prices. Elevate your shopping journey with affordability, diversity, and accessibility at the V. Conveniently located at 1745 Coney Drive in Belize City.
13,835,700 eggs are eaten by tourists each year, fueling our thriving economy. Tourism means business.
I'm David Humes. This is Vanessa Humes. We own Ladyville Cool Spot. Belize Bank save us a lot of time. Working with them, we can keep track exactly what we spend. We recommend Belize Bank 100% because we don't have to go to stand up in line, and we can check on our account right from our house. Working with Belize Bank is the best.
Make Atlantic Insurance a part of your travel plans when traveling to Chetumal, Cancun, Merida, or anywhere in Mexico. Whether it's for vacation, to conduct business, or just relaxation, you can purchase a minimum of 1 day or any number of days desired up to 1 year. Atlantic Insurance offers certified and reliable insurance policies from well-established Mexican insurance companies. For more information, you can visit any of our offices located countrywide or call 223-2657. To purchase online, visit our website at aicbelize.com. Travel with the best insurance coverage. Travel secure. Travel with peace of mind. Travel with Atlantic Insurance. Insuring you from life's unexpected.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase increase traffic to your website and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
Good morning and welcome back. We're having our first conversation for this morning, and it's all about the celebration of World Health Day. We are joined by Kathleen Azueta Cho, and she is the technical advisor with Hegopab. And with her is Dr. Karen Bell, and she is no stranger to the morning show. I feel like we had you here last week.
Yes.
We did. And she's here representing PAHO and the WHO. And with her is also Diane Wade, and she is the Head Project Development Officer with the 5 Cs.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, and welcome.
Thank you.
So we're celebrating World Health Day, and I love that we're here again with you, Doctor, because this seems like a conversation that we will be having for a while. Let's talk about why it's, first of all, important for us to celebrate World Health Day.
Well, World Health Day is really an initiative of the World Health Organization. And interestingly, it started at the inception of the WHO in 1948. And it really is about building awareness, increasing public awareness about the importance of health. Health to life, health to development. And World Health Day specifically became entrenched in 1950.
wow.
So we have been celebrating it every year for 74 years.
Wow.
Each year a theme is selected to really focus on what is relevant and critical at that time to health. And so this year's theme is My Health, My Right. And it really is about building awareness about the importance of health for everyone. And that health is a fundamental human right. You know, there are so many things that are happening now that is impacting health. And it's not just diseases and disasters that may be causing lives, but it's the climate, it's the environment. You know, all the burning of fossil fuels and the carbon emissions, indoor and outdoor pollution is claiming one life every 5 seconds.
Right.
Violence in communities is claiming lives, causing disabilities, but more importantly, it's also impacting our mental health. Climate change, global warming, other factors is also impacting food security, and that has an impact on our health. And so this year the theme is My Right, My Health. My Health, My Right. And so, you know, 5 Cs have added something to it.
Yeah. I love that it covers all the aspects of health, not only physical health, because oftentimes when we would celebrate health, we only think of our physical bodies or the things that you put in, but now we're including mental health, which is something that oftentimes we didn't acknowledge or recognize. It was considered taboo because it's not something that you can physically see the effects on the individual until more than likely it's at its worst stage. But it's so important for us to be having that conversation as well.
Yes.
What I'm very curious about is the collaboration or implementation, if you will, of climate change, because as Sabrina rightfully says, you can't see mental health, and sometimes we don't take notice of the changes of climate that it does to your physical and your mental health as well. So let's talk about this collaborative project. Let's start with you, Ms. Wade.
Well, as Doc alluded to, in celebration of World Health Day this year, we've added on to that team. And so we are celebrating under the theme, My Climate, My Health, My Right.
Okay.
A big part of this is that we want to start the discussions, and that environmental security or environmental health is also a fundamental human right. And that the climate change and the unfolding climate crisis is in fact serving or acting as a health risk multiplier. So the idea of food security, water security, and the subtle changes, because whenever we think climate change, we tend to jump to that space where we think about extreme events.
That is true.
And we tend to discuss climate change as we look at other development sector, whether it be agriculture and those. However, a big part of climate change is how it is altering our environment, and how that altered environment then impacts on those things that directly influence our well-being and our health. So there is a regional project that is funded by the European Development Fund, and it looks at the strengthening of and the resilience of the health sector, considering that this health sector continues to be eroded, and it ranges from the impact on the service delivery or infrastructure for health to the impacts that come as those secondary things, the food security and nutrition impact. We don't think a lot about the clean air and the health impact. I know if you live in Belmopan, where we are, one of the things that you will be facing of late is the burning. And what it means to the air quality, the quality of water, and of course the changes in disease transmission because of the altering of the environment.
I was thinking about when I saw the headline, I said, what the amount of times that we've had severe flooding, the amount of times that we've had all of these different hurricanes, these different natural disasters and so on, how it affects the water. And I couldn't help thinking about people that might not have access to fresh drinking water, and how all of these different catastrophes and entities affect their water supply, and how that would bring diseases, how that would bring severe rise in certain diseases that we probably didn't even think about now in 2024. And so I just wanted to ask, how now are we starting to create this awareness for persons? What is it that the three of you, or your three entities, are doing to create this type of awareness?
So we're having the walk that is scheduled tomorrow in Belmopan. It starts at 6 a.m. at the Governor General Field, and it's a walk that is bringing awareness on climate change and human health as a right. As our partners mentioned earlier, it's very important for us to start the conversation and discuss, what are some of the areas where we could bring our expertise and our different skills to bring more awareness, to educate our population. I know for the Ministry of Health and Wellness, apart from the promotional activities, we could say that, for example, the removal of the fees at the public health facilities that is aligned to the government's goal to universal health coverage, because we're eliminating, some of the financial barriers that affect access to healthcare services, and that's one of our rights, right? And we also have, for example, the rollout of the National Health Insurance Scheme to other parts of the country. We also have the smart retrofitted health facilities. We were in Corozal recently with our partners, the EU and PAHO. And these hospitals are, going to be more safe, secure, greener, and more resilient to the disasters and some of the catastrophes that we might be facing. So we are on a good track, I would say, and strengthening these partnerships and these collaborations will definitely help in bringing more awareness.
Dr. Bell, with over 70 years of reinforcing the need to prioritize health across the world, what do you identify as the main challenges that we still need to focus on?
I think certainly for Belize and many of the other Caribbean countries, although we still see some communicable diseases, and I'd just like to say here, the effects of climate change is really causing the region of the Americas to be seeing a significant increase in dengue fever now. Where we have over 3.5 million cases in the region. And we have been having severe dengue, almost 3,000 hospitalizations, and about half of those have died.
Wow.
So climate change and the impact on communicable diseases is really important and significant. However, we are in the transition where we're seeing the non-communicable diseases, hypertension, high blood pressure, diabetes, cardiovascular disorders. Those are significant. Mental health. Those are areas that we need to focus on. And it really is a collaborative effort with all our partners, including the Ministry of Health. We have been doing capacity building and training, supporting the ministry to develop their strategic plans, national action plans. Antimicrobial resistance is also a significant health concern for us. And so, it is important for the country to develop these plans for us to work together to build awareness primarily in the healthcare workers so that they in turn can impart and share the information with the general public. I think one of the important things as well is for the individuals, the public, to understand that health is a right, but it's also their responsibility. While ministries of health and governments can provide the services, and certainly I really want to commend Belize as being one of the few countries in this region, and certainly in the Caribbean, to have eliminated fees at the point of service for persons to really eliminate that barrier. And so while governments can do that, it is really the individual's responsibility to ensure that they enjoy a healthy and long life. Eat right, a healthy diet, physical activity, do their regular screenings. Colon cancer is one of the leading causes of death, lung cancer, cessation of smoking, the responsible use of alcohol, reduction of salt, sugar. Those are the responsibilities of individuals, and I think we have a lot more to do in that regard.
I don't think that health and climate change are a new factor to talk about. I think that this has always been something that has affected us or impacted us in a way. But let's talk about some of the ways that we can see this impact. How can we have this conversation? How can we talk about it? Something that comes to mind for me is forest fires during COVID. And everybody was having this hard time breathing. You have these fires in Belmopan. It's a basin, so the air doesn't go anywhere. It just swirls and circulates in one particular area, and that affects getting better. That affects your lungs in a particular way. But what are some other ways that we can connect the two?
While you're right in saying that there are no new concepts, I think what is new is exactly that. Us having the discussion with the two in the same sentence. the whole idea of climate change and health, as I said, it ranges from the very, very subtle. Belize has made significant gains in certain diseases, in malaria, and up to this point, dengue and others. And these...
Go ahead.
Very sorry. What we're facing is a setback, or a possible setback of these gains. When we think climate change and how do we approach it, and I think that is where the partnership comes in place. And what we've tried to do is to build a consortium of expert agencies that leverage or bring to the table their expertise. I can speak within the framework of the Strengthening of Health Sector Resilience Project, where we have PAHO that is leading efforts in terms of national development planning, the Health Sector National Adaptation Plan. So we're rethinking how we plan for development in the sector. And of course, the 5 Cs has a mandate to its constituent countries in terms of supporting now, after the health sector adaptation plans are in place, how do we finance it? And so the 5 Cs playing that role. The ministries of health that we are partnering in within these 14 countries are now localizing the actions for us and starting the discussions and moving away from a lot and trying to help us in localizing through demystifying and moving and making those practical linkage, because many people will not see, because they will think climate change, but exactly how does that impact, as you indicated, forest fires. One of the things, if you look trend-wise in Belize, we normally have extreme burns in those years where we've had natural disasters, hurricanes. Why? Because the hurricanes take down large swaths of our forested area. After a while, it dries and it adds to the burn. The idea of the directly associated with these extreme events. Normally, when you are dealing with disaster recovery, we must think about the secondary impacts. We have water on the ground, we have things, and so you have an upsurge in terms of vector-borne diseases and
how
other
it affects
things.
other industries too.
So it is a matter of tracing the lines and making the linkages between things that people speak about commonly, but they don't really step back. We are having issues of food security or insecurity, so discussions of insecurities, an increase in insecurities rather than securities. And what does this mean to nutrition and malnutrition and those other things?
You guys have your work cut out for you, really. Is there a plan to perhaps take this into the primary and secondary education sectors and see how you guys collaborate with that ministry?
Well, we do a lot of partnerships already with the Ministry of Education. So we have our health educators, our community health workers on the ground, and the education and the imparting of information and knowledge. That's also, going back to their team this year, a right to information. And so we are taking that responsibility to bring more awareness, bring that information. I can share too that from the health system approach, we are also making the system more accountable, free from discrimination, free from discrimination, whether from your sex, religion, political affiliation. And then we're also looking at a responsibility to developing policies and legislation that looks at addressing some of these issues that we have with climate change. And addressing some of the improvements that we could do when it comes to the determinants of health, like water and sanitation. So it's a partnership, and we're extending it to all the sectors that we already have those existing collaborations.
You know, I'm here thinking about our presence that we make at the Conference of the Parties annually. I believe you ladies or your representatives from your organizations would have been present last year at Dubai. And we oftentimes hear that Belize is recognized as a trailblazer when it comes to climate change and making these strategies to reduce carbon footprint. But we also hear in the same breath that Belize is a small island developing state, and what we're doing is only a minuscule percentage of what should be done. I suppose I wanted to ask you, Dr. Bell, representing the World Health Organization, how important is it that we have partnerships or collaborations between different nations to ensure that we fight the bigger cause and not just do the small numbers here as small island developing states?
Thanks for that question, and it's very important because you have heard it said so many times, we're a global village.
Yes.
And each country depends on the other. And even though, for example, Belize, their carbon footprint may be small compared to some of the larger industrialized countries, it really takes a collaborative effort.
It does.
And certainly COP, you know, the Conference of the Parties, it really is starting the dialogue or continuing the dialogue and getting some commitments, because it's important to have commitments, especially from some of the larger industrialized countries that really are adding more to the carbon footprint. And so what are some of the commitments that they have made? How can we collectively have that impact globally? I remember at one of the COPs, I think it was from Tuvalu, I think, the Prime Minister, he gave his speech from in the water.
Wow.
Just to show how the rising sea levels is eroding certain islands in terms of the coastline, how it's affecting the coral reefs, how it's affecting fishing, etc. And so it really is important to start that conversation, but it does require a collaborative effort. And this is where entities like the United Nations, the World Health Organization, the Pan American Health Organization comes in as a convener, as an advocate for some of these issues, and the issues especially that affect the most vulnerable of us. It is important to raise the awareness, you know, build that public knowledge, and so demand certain commitments of others.
My climate, my health, my right. Since we're changing it to that now. Let's talk about the term right. We said it is your right, but it's also your responsibility. This morning we were having a conversation about the pig transplant into the human, the pig kidney transplant into the human, and how he's now functioning, etc., right? Sabrina brought up a point about the rights of animals and the rights of humans, and where do these ethic barriers meet in some way, shape, or form. How do you balance the rights of health for humanity and the ethics in between?
Well, that is something that is very important to us in health. And the World Health Organization and the Pan American Health Organization has a whole department that looks at ethics. Ethics in research, ethics in provision of health services. And there are also animal rights activists, and there are groups that also look at that. And so it really is a balance. Oftentimes we think that humans, as the higher animal, may have more rights, and so we have to look at the bigger picture in terms of development, in terms of advances in health, and how we can help to impact that. And so this is nothing new, and there are groups, any research that is done, there are ethics committees that looks at it, looks at the rights of the individual, looks at the rights of animals that may be used in science, in research as well, and to make sure that the animals are not harmed unnecessarily or do not suffer in any undue way. And so it really is a balancing act. In life, everything we do is a balancing act, you know, and so we just have to pay attention to it, be aware of it, and make as much efforts as we can to acknowledge it and to work with it.
Let's talk about the other collaborative partners as we celebrate World Health Day. We have here with us HECOPAB, the 5Cs, WHO, and PAHO. Are there any other organizations or entities?
We have the Belmopan City Council. So they are very supportive of these initiatives as it relates to health, as it relates to climate change. They have a health focus as well, and different, they have, I guess, these collaborations with different sectors in education, agriculture, health. And so they're supporting us. We have the Western Regional Hospital. We have the staff from there who are also on standby with their paramedics. So it's really bringing everybody, from those persons who work on the ground to our technical staff, to our directors who are there championing it from that policy level. So it's really something that, like I said, it's nothing new. We have these partnerships already established, so now it's just to strengthen them, bring more awareness, and start engaging other partners. And with that, we'll have more people seeing that and, you know, deciding to be a part of this. And the walk is a good example because we're tying in several areas, from, you know, tackling the non-communicable diseases, as Dr. Bell mentioned. You know, the Easter break just went by. We are, you know, maybe we ate a little bit too much, and so now it's time to get moving, exercise, and so that awareness is always there. It's timely to bring all these topics onto the table and to highlight them in this walk.
How as this is something I've been listening to you all talk about, all of these important factors that affect humans in everyday life. In everyday life, I'm not thinking about my health. I'm not thinking about climate change. I'm not thinking about other parts of the world that are experiencing these things. So how do I keep that at least in the back of my mind? How do I take all of these information and not maybe have like a mental breakdown as I'm going through work, trying to figure out how to be a good human being, how to balance my health, how to think about climate change, how to think about other people in the world that are experiencing the same things as I am. How do we do that collectively as individuals?
So, you know, having a clean environment, being aware of, you know, the plastics, and bringing our water bottles. You know, I've seen a lot of people now carrying the water bottles, and that's one way of, you know, being more greener, going that direction, and allowing for cleaner spaces. We have our staff who are on the ground doing cleanup campaigns, you know, because of the dengue outbreaks in some parts of the country that are heavy right now. So those are steps that we can take to be kinder, to be more human, and to, it's not only benefiting the individuals, but it's a community effort.
And I think it's important that each of us starts with ourselves. And if you really love yourself, you want the best for yourself. And so what is it that will make me healthy? Drinking more water, doing exercise, having, you know, taking care of your mental health, self-care. And each one can teach one. And that is how we will eventually share the message. So it really just starts with us as individuals. We're really selfish human beings. We want the best for ourselves. So start with that.
The selfish part of it too is sometimes we know what we deserve, but we still don't give ourselves that too.
That's true.
That's the part where I struggle to understand. But ladies, I have to say thank you as always for stopping by. I'll ask if you have any last words.
Just to invite people out to the walk tomorrow. The walk starts technically at 6. However, there's a short opening ceremony, and then the Belmopan City Council is aiding with warm-up. And then so
where is the starting line?
We're starting from the Governor General
field.
And how long will the walk be?
It's one lap around the ring road, so
Okay.
it's about
2.5
2.5 miles.
miles.
And we'll have music along the way.
That always helps.
DJ, music, entertainment, and just,
First 50
bring a
people
friend.
get a free t-shirt.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Okay.
Wonderful.
That's a motivator.
That's an incentive. Well, ladies, thank you so much for stopping by as always. We're celebrating World Health Day with you and with everyone else.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, the conversation switches into the Belize Tourism Board's online portal upgrades. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price but stay for the service.
Hi, my name is Lincoln Fowers and I work at UMAL. 100% I will recommend Belize Bank mobile banking to everyone because it saves time, money and gas price because gas price is high right now. Belize Bank mobile banking just make life easier.
This spot is dedicated to the parents who haven't slept for 5 nights. Inhale and exhale. Because in between chaos and peace, there is Nutribomb Infant Cereal, enriched with all the nutrients your baby needs for healthy growth, making your baby's first food of choice a moment of happiness for him and calmness for you. Nutribomb Infant Cereal, moments that nourish. Find all 6 flavors at the best price in a supermarket near you.
Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes, go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. the daily obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The daily obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's daily obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
And we are back. Joining us for our second conversation, we've switched gears over to the Belize Tourism Board and their upgrades on their already existing online portal. Joining us in studio, we have here, no stranger to the show, Mr. Denmar Villar. He is the Registrar of Hotels over at BTB. Good morning.
Good morning.
Next to him, you have Senior Tax Auditor Edward Rivas. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Compliance Officer Leroy Flowers. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
So BTB is getting bigger and better. All right, let's start with you, Mr. Denmar.
Okay, good morning. Thank you for having us here on the show. Basically, we're here to talk about the enhancements we made to our online portal. These enhancements were launched on March the 1st.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about the renewal process and the tax process. To simply give an overview, basically it simplifies the process, it enhances the user experience, and it provides better guidance on those using the existing portal. Totally redesigned. The screens look different. Everything looks different on the portal.
A total different user experience. Let's take it back really quickly and talk about the purpose of the online portal in the first place.
Yes, the main purpose of the online portal was for the hoteliers to renew their applications fully online. Right now, it's only for renewals. In the coming weeks, we will then launch another one, which is for applications.
Is this portal something that has been used for a very long time and a lot of persons or hoteliers access for their application processes? Do you have an estimation of what the numbers look like?
Okay, the portal has been in existence before because the moment you open an account with the Belize Tourism Board, you get access to the portal to basically file your taxes.
Right.
But it was limited. So we made major enhancements where then you can now renew, you can track, and one of the most innovative features is what we call the interactive dashboard. That will be shown probably on the screen.
Yeah.
The interactive dashboard, basically, every time a guest leaves and the hotel fills the forms, the guest registration forms, it logs where the guest is coming from. And it gives you a dashboard where you can see where most of your guests are coming from.
So you have a database of who comes in from where,
from which country,
and you
basically.
can provide us statistics for the end
Correct.
of the year as to how many people we get. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we know already that the online portal upgrade is primarily going to be used for renewal of applications. That's the first thing that we know. We know that it's also interactive. It looks completely different. It's user-friendly. Let's talk about other areas that the portal has upgraded.
Okay, I'll have Norman speak on the registration part of it.
All right.
Leroy.
Okay, so the main purpose of the enhancements that we've made to the portal is to streamline the licensing process. Before, issues or concerns that we've had from stakeholders is that the entire process from start to finish takes too long. So, with the enhancements that we've made, would significantly shorten that process. So before, the process was you would submit your application via email. You would send us your application form along with supporting documents. We would receive those documents, vet them, and then we would respond to your email and let you know if you have anything missing or outstanding. Then that would create a back and forth between the BTB and the stakeholder. That process would go on for quite a while because it depends on the documents that you have missing. Sometimes you need to get those clearances from other agencies, and that could take a while on your part. So then you cannot, you know.
So it's a tedious process.
Yes. So this, with the enhancements that we've made, like I said, to the portal would cut down that significantly. So
And we're still expecting more enhancements, as you mentioned, at this time. It's only for renewal
Right,
or
right.
re-registrations, but in a couple weeks or in a few weeks, we will be seeing persons who want to start from, from scratch, new applications. Let's get Edward in the conversation. Let's talk a bit more about these enhancements.
Okay, so as Mr. Denmar explained, the portal was already there from, I believe, about 2019. That's when it was originally launched, and that was for hotels to file their taxes. There are 3 steps in filing your taxes through the online portal. First, you enter your guest forms, and then by the 14th of the month, you need to file your taxes, and then you need to pay your taxes. These features are on the portal. One of the changes that we made, which Mr. Denmar also touched, was the mandatory filling of the zip code, because now that's data that we need to see where our guests are coming from. That's very essential so that we can also use it as a marketing tool, so as to where we could expand to try to attract more guests to our country.
I see here that there's an enhanced guest registration form. Can you talk a bit about that? What is the importance of having a guest registration form?
Okay, so the guest form in the portal automatically populates your taxes.
Okay.
You enter it's very essential that you get your check-in and check-out dates correct, because it automatically gives you the nights of stay. And then you enter the nightly rate, which you charge a guest. Let's say the guest stayed for 7 nights. All you need to enter is $100 if that's your nightly rate, and then it will automatically populate the accommodation charges to $700, and it will calculate the taxes, which is a 9%, and give you the entire amount of the accommodation charges.
And can you track your taxes and how much you've paid and so forth on that portal?
Yes, you have past listings and filings that you've done, so you can always go back and reconcile all the guest forms. So it's a database for the customer also, where they can go and see all the guests and a history of everything that they've entered.
So I would know exactly how much I owe.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a statement also up there that shows you what you need to pay.
Yeah. How efficient will this new upgrade be for reporting, perhaps for stakeholders as well? Is this something that they can access reports or an overview of what their business has been looking like?
Yes, the statement is a feature that you'll see on the drop-down menu.
Okay.
It's on the left-hand side when you log into the portal, and there you have the invoice list, and you'll see also the statements, and you can pull it by year and by month, so you can see everything up there.
Mr. Flowers, I also know that a part of the enhancement is now that you can track your application progress, right? Let's talk about that.
So when you submit your one of the key features of this portal is that when the portal won't allow you to submit an incomplete application, right? So that's very big, because in the past, like I mentioned, when people would submit, it would be incomplete, and then that. So now the portal will allow you to submit your application only if it's completed, and once it's completed, then you could track the progress of your application, where the stages that it's at in the vetting process.
How quick or efficient and easy is this process now?
It's very, like I said, as long as you have all your documents, when at the time you're submitting your application, as you click submit, we receive that application, and then we could go through it. Before, we would tell you that it would take 5 to 7 days for us to vet your application, but once everything, like I mentioned, is in, then that could take 2 to 3 days.
Wow.
So
significant change. Yeah. I'm wondering, and I'm thinking about, now that we have this particular portal and website, are you all managing how many persons have their licenses, how many applicants there are that are renewing their applications and so on? Do we have a statistics of that right now?
Okay, we launched it on March 1st. during this month, we have about a dozen persons that have used the portal, but we still have many using the old way, the email. So that's why we are going on the media. We are trying to sensitize the public to test the portal, to use the portal. It makes it easier. As Leroy said, it cuts the time drastically. Some hoteliers have complained the BTB is taking months with their applications. Right. Why? Because when they submit an email, a document is missing from a government agency or from, and then the back and forth begins. With this new portal, you have to upload basically each document. If not, the portal doesn't allow you to move on. So basically, when you click submit, we receive all the documents in one package, and then the officers can go through those documents and the application can move faster.
And if this is a renewal application, I would imagine that I already know what documents I need, right? So I should already have those on hand, and I should already be able to scan and submit.
Like I think Mr. Vier had mentioned earlier, one of the features that we've included in this portal is that we have sample documents of all the documents that you need to upload. So when you click on upload, there's a sample document that you could see just to make sure that that is the correct document that you need to submit for that particular application.
So there's no excuse.
That's a good point right there. Mr. Flowers, as compliance, I imagine a big part of your job has to do with due diligence, ensuring that there aren't any aspects of frauds taking place. Has this been something that has been a concern for the Belize Tourism Board, ensuring that the information you're getting is accurate and is legal in the first place?
Well, in vetting the documents, there are certain things that we look for in terms of the validity of the documents. So this would, I wouldn't say change it, but it would assist us in ensuring that the documents that you submit are valid. So.
Yes, it allows us to do more due diligence in the fact that we have all the documents in one place. Before, it was hunting through emails. If you need 15 documents, you submit 3, then you submit 2. It was an email dance. Now all the documents are in one place, and yes, the BTB as a regulator of the industry, we have to ensure, and that's what the vetting does, that we primarily establish ownership of the property. Because in many occasions in the past, what had happened is that licenses were given, and when you really review the file, this land doesn't belong to that person, this land belongs to somebody else. So we need to establish that ownership. If you are not the owner of the land, it's no problem, then you have to bring an authority from the owner of the land, and husband and wife doesn't work. I mean, the wife is applying for the license, but the land belongs to the husband.
Yes.
We need an authority from the husband saying, I authorize Mary Jane to use my property, lot number 1, 2, 3, 4 at Freetown, you know, so that then we can establish, and like exactly said, due diligence is a very important part. Also, sometimes properties get clearances from the agencies, but sometimes it's adjacent properties wanting to use the same clearance. Lot number 5 and lot number 6 are 2 different lots. So sometimes public health would give them clearance for 5 and not for 6, but then they want to submit the same clearance.
You're trying to find a loophole.
Yes, correct. So at the BTB, we need to ensure that all of these documents are in place and refers to the exact same property.
Interesting. And with these applications, are there deadlines?
As for
the renewal?
Well, all licenses expire October 31st.
Okay.
So technically, if they didn't renew, they're already expired.
That is correct. We have a bunch that expired October 31st, 2023, and to date we still have some hotels that have not renewed for different reasons. They have pending documents. One common one is, for example, the CBA, the no objection from the Central Building Authority. That expires every 4 years. So every hotelier knows that if they got it this year, they have 4 years to renew it. Sometimes they would wait until the 4th year, and then they would submit and say, oh, I will get CBA. All of us know that that can take a process, because those government agencies are also tasked with doing other matters. So right now, what we are doing is we are trying to get out and ensure outreach to the stakeholders so that they have all of these documents, because come this October, another set of licenses will expire. So we are calling upon our stakeholders or hoteliers to ensure that they begin the renewal process. If they know certain agencies take long, then get it a few months. We even open the renewal process 2 months in advance. 1st of September, you can begin to renew your hotel application. So come the 31st of October, you have renewed. What will be happening now is that with the portal making it so easy, come October 31st, you should have had renewed. So November the 1st, if not renewed, then we can proceed and issue a violation ticket, because then you're breaking the law. You are operating illegal. Pretty much like a driver's license. The police catches you the day after your birthday. There is no reason why you forgot or what. I mean, as a responsible citizen, you know you have a month before to.
And especially knowing that it takes a process. You can't have an excuse.
That's what I was going to ask. So what happens if I don't renew? What happens if I don't have a license?
Well, the BTB can issue a violation ticket for operating on an expired license.
With a fine of?
It can be up to 10,000.
Say no, man. Just get your documents. Do it. We don't have $10,000.
And that also takes me to another point. Properties operating without a license. There are many people that have placed their properties on Airbnb and other online travel agents, Booking.com and so, and they have not registered with the Belize Tourism Board. So we're making a call to those unregistered properties to come. We had an amnesty program 2 years ago. 50 persons applied, 50 properties, and we know there are much more than 50 operating. So now when we literally find them, we issue a violation ticket, because it's an automatic. You're breaking the law.
Yeah. Is that a challenge for the Belize Tourism Board, ensuring that these hoteliers are following the laws of Belize when it comes to having these licenses, finding the little ones that are hiding in a hole? Is that a challenge for you guys to ensure that they're all following the due process?
It was a challenge as of last year and previous years. It was a challenge because we simply don't know where they're located. They're scattered all across the country. The house next door to you might be an Airbnb, and we simply didn't know.
A little bed and breakfast.
And we simply didn't know. And I use the word didn't know because now we have made significant improvements. We purchased a very useful software from the United States that scans basically the websites. So wherever you're advertising, we will be able to know where you are, and eventually somebody will come and knock at your door and let you know that
the algorithm knows.
That's so interesting though, because there could be an individual that maybe travels outside of the country frequently and decides, you know what, I want to rent my house. What are the laws that they would have to do to use their home
Sublet.
as a Airbnb, or they could say just to make somebody house sit?
Correct, right? That was what was done before. Not only house sit. The most common one used today, family and friends.
Yes.
Wherever we go, we meet different set of people staying at establishment, and when we ask, oh, we're family and friends with the owner. We're family and friends with the owner. This software that we bought, we can locate that property, see on which website it's being advertised, Airbnb, VRBO, whichever, Booking.com, and some websites that we were not even used to. And that software also gives us an approximate time these people were staying, guests were staying there, and the approximate nightly rate they were paying. So basically it gives us...
You cannot hide.
Yes. It gives us evidence that you were paying.
Thinking about all the times I've heard people use that.
Yes,
right?
they use it often.
It's so amazing that now we have this technology.
Yeah, but I think it works for persons that actually post the availability of these homes online.
Correct.
Wow.
I recall one time I wanted to sublet an apartment and I did it via Facebook, and I wasn't allowed to do that. And then they found it. The owners, they find it. But what I really want to have you guys reiterate as we're coming down to the end of this segment is when, where, how. So when should persons start to use this portal, for what, and how can they do it? So what is the login, the website?
Well, the portal is for existing hoteliers. So hoteliers already have access to the portal.
Okay.
So it was just enhanced.
Okay.
It was just enhanced. So what will happen is that basically when they logged in on March the 1st, they saw a totally new screen
Okay.
with new features.
Okay. And what all can they do on the website? Tax.
Yes, so one of the main things is like what Mr. Leroy and Mr. Denmar said, they can now apply for a renewal and of course file their taxes. So that's very important, as one thing we want to reiterate is that taxes are due on the 14th of each month, the filing and the payment. So you need to declare it and also pay. If you fail to do it on the 14th or the designated date, then the system automatically charges you a penalty.
Of each month?
Yes.
Yes.
Of each month.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I did not know
Why?
that.
Yeah, can I ask why? Because I know for everybody else,
No, we
it's
play annually.
Annually, yeah.
So, because you declare by month. Remember, the stakeholder serves as a holding agent. You collect the 9% from the guest.
Okay.
So that 9% should be declared by month to the BTB.
I just learned something today. But Mr. Flowers, let's talk about the other features on the portal and what can the hoteliers expect.
Well, like the two gentlemen said, it's only used for renewals right now at this time and paying your taxes. So all active accounts, all stakeholders could start using the portal to submit their renewals.
And when can we expect new applications?
In about 5 weeks.
In about 5 weeks.
All right.
So,
well, gentlemen, is there anything else that you'd like to mention that perhaps you would have missed?
Yes, as the registrar, I would like to mention that two things, right? There is a registration process for new developments. This is not a license, this is a registration process. We have an investor, we have a stakeholder that wants to get into tourism. They buy a piece of land and they know they're going to put a hotel and accommodation. They need to register with us first. So we have them register as a developing property, and it's by law, it's not us. Then secondly, expiration. October 31st is coming right around the corner.
Okay.
So we are reminding, reiterating the importance of renewing hotel licenses in time.
is there a fee for renewal application?
Yes, the license fee of a hotel is $25 and $10 per room.
Okay.
So if you have a hotel with 10 rooms, it's basically $125. And that is the only amount that the hotelier pays, because the 9% is paid by the guest.
Okay.
Very quick, very simple. Are there anything else that we can expect from the BTB in the coming months?
Well, we have our big festival coming up in July.
We saw some announcements of who's coming.
And who's coming and when and where. So we're already up to date with that.
So that's our big festival that we do at the end of July every year. This is our third year, and it's only simply getting bigger.
It's already...
You guys stay busy. It's clear to see there's always something taking place, but I want to say thank you so much for stopping by and giving us this update as it relates to the online portal. I'm hoping that the applications come flowing in now that you're doing your media tour, and that you're able to get the results that you hope for.
And you already know the process. If you are renewing your license, you already know what you need. You already know where to get it in, right? You said that they have the login,
access,
right? They have the access already. So get those applications in before October 31st. Wonderful. Thank you, gentlemen, so much.
Thank you for having us.
We got to take a quick break, Sabrina, and when we come back, it's all about basketball with the Belize City Defenders. Don't go away.
My name is Leomar Langzert, and I'm a teacher, and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. What I enjoy is the safety features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer. With these online that Belize Bank offered is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
La formación del Centro Neurológico del Hospital Galenia es que esas enfermedades que son altamente complejas y que muchos de nuestros pacientes tenían que emigrar hacia otra parte de la República u otra parte de México, ahora puedan ser atendidos aquí.
La atención quirúrgica en el centro neurológico se forma dentro de un grupo multidisciplinario que incluye tanto neurólogos, médicos internistas, ortopedistas, neurocirujanos, pediatras. Y este esfuerzo que se ha realizado para conjuntar todos los especialistas es para siempre brindar al paciente un abordaje multidisciplinario y transversal.
Evidentemente, mientras más rápido podamos llegar al diagnóstico de los pacientes, más rápido podemos tratarlos, resolverlos y por ende mejor resultado vamos a tener al final. Entonces creo que la prioridad y el fundamento principal de un proyecto como este es justamente eso, que no se pierda tiempo de forma innecesaria para poder al final del día llegar al mejor de los resultados con un tratamiento completo, integral y oportuno.
Y las visiones desde diferentes perspectivas nos permiten tener pues el mejor tratamiento y la mejor opción para el paciente.
Tenemos la capacidad técnica, operativa, profesional y la infraestructura de poder establecer una atención neurológica de alta calidad.
Here's how to be a part of Benny's Homecation in 3 easy steps. First, download the B-Bucks app and sign up to be eligible. It's fast and easy. Then, shop at any Benny's location or Benny's entity. Remember to choose products from our monthly Homecation jackpot categories to earn entries. Now you can earn B-Bucks with purchases made and be a part of the Benny's Homecation jackpot for a chance to win the $10,000 grand prize in December. Win the ultimate Homecation with Benny's, quality and savings.
For 19 years, SMART has been the pulse of our nation. A journey of growth, innovation, resilience, and unity.
From the first call that bridged distances to the data that brought us closer than ever, SMART has been there, weaving threads of connection across our beautiful land.
We have been active in providing innovative solutions to enhance our customers' lifestyles. Over the years, SMART has developed and provided various services to meet customers' needs.
To the dreamers, doers, and the believers, thank you for making SMART a part of your story. For 19 years of trust, loyalty, partnership, and shared experiences.
As we celebrate 19 years of connecting lives and dreams, let's keep the rhythm alive. Together, let's continue to shape our future one connection at a time.
Come and be a part of the SMART family, where we empower you and our country today, tomorrow, and beyond.
SMART, bringing people together.
Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes, go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because news is now everywhere, all the time, and so are we.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5 Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. If you have a picture, video, or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
Welcome back. We are having our final conversation for the morning, and it's an exciting one. We have our friends from the Belize City Defenders here with us. They're going to be talking about how they plan to defend the city this Friday against the Belmopan Trojans. Okay. We have here with us our friend John Marsden, and he is the marketing director for the Belize City Defenders. But we also have two pro players with us. We have Richard Smith. He's an American pro player, as well as Fenton Bradley, and he is a Belizean pro player. Guys, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Guys. What's the vibe? Let's get a vibe check. How are we feeling?
A little tired. Last night practice kind of got me a little bit.
Oh yeah, you guys are training hard?
We're good to go.
How often are you guys practicing?
Monday to Thursday. Yeah.
Okay.
4 times a week. Yeah, 4 times a week. And then like in the mornings too.
Yeah. Okay. So the season has been kind of a shaky one so far. You won some, you lost some. Mm-hmm. Let's get an overview from the players first. How are you guys feeling so far on the performance level?
I feel like we could be a lot better. We at that midpoint to where we kind of want to start going uphill. Mm-hmm. I think we're getting there. It's going to be some adversity throughout the season. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think we're at that point to where like we kind of know what we need to work on, and moving forward, just kind of making those adjustments to get ready for playoffs.
When the season started, though, you guys were doing pretty well. It's just been the last couple of games that we've seen a few losses. In terms of how you guys strategize and re-strategize, how is that going?
Like I said, I feel like it's going a lot better now that we're kind of adjusting to the early part of the season. We kind of got the feel of how every team likes to play. What adjustments need to be made, and kind of just like watching film and seeing how we can become better for getting ready towards the playoffs.
Yeah. Richard, you're new to the team, right? You just got in, you had your first game a couple of weeks ago. First of all, why did you start playing with the Defenders, and how are you feeling the team now?
Well, I played for Defenders last year, so I just wanted to stay loyal with them. And I thought we had some good pieces, some good things going, so I wanted to come back. You know.
And how are you feeling now?
I'm feeling good. I think we just gotta, we know we have to work on it. We just have to put the little things together to make that happen. So
Yeah.
I think we all feel good.
This season seems like just one that everyone is fighting. They're fighting to stay on top. But we do know Defenders to be one of the top teams in the entire league. John, let's talk about the progress so far and how the Defenders plans to remain on top, or at least fight to stay on top.
First, like April said, at the beginning of the season we were running through everybody, you know. But as anything is expected, adversity will happen.
Yeah.
And we hit that storm, we hit that little rock. And fortunately for us, it happened early in the season, basically at the midpoint. So now we have 4 games left. It's the correct time to start our stride. It's anybody knows basketball. Once you hit that stride and start building that chemistry and going, it's a great thing for basketball. So we feel like it's at any moment now, we should be hitting our stride. We should be propelling ourselves into the playoffs for a playoff run and for a championship run. Again, we knew it wouldn't be easy. This league is a pretty small league. They have very good teams that want to come out at night and beat you. We have teams that are going to push their all, and if we're not giving our all, we're going to get trampled like we did the last 2 games. So we feel like we all sat down, we looked at ourselves, including management, including coaching staff, including players, and we said, we need to be better. We need to hold ourselves accountable of what we're doing.
Right.
And clearly what we were doing was not what we wanted to do, what we planned to do when we brought in this group of guys. We still today feel like they're the best group of guys that we have to put out there. And it's just to let them know that, it's time to be accountable. It's no more partying, it's no more hanging out. This is time to get serious. We're here to do a job, and the job calls for extra to be put in now. And we transcend that to them. We make them know, like, it starts with us. We, as the management, need to be, anything you guys feel like we're not doing, tell us. Because we will be the same with you guys. We will tell you guys, Fenton, you're not working as hard as I think you should be. And they could tell you, like, we are very honest with everybody. We sit down, we have cussing matches, we have emotions putting out. I mean, it's basketball is an emotional sport, so a lot of emotions pour into it. And our team, we are very emotional. We're a bunch of guys that want to win, and sometimes our winning isn't the way how it should be coming, and it's hard to deal with, yes, but we feel like now is the correct time for us to hit our stride. And it starts this Friday, 9 p.m. With the Belmopan, unfortunately for April, with the Belmopan Trojans.
Ooh. We won't ask you on camera what side you're picking.
So anyway, the BEBL has been having their own internal issues and so forth for the past couple of months. How has that affected not just the Defenders, but the collaborative teams that have been playing the past season?
You see, a lot of people are saying stuff that they do not know. The Defenders is an organization that we prefer to not speak on issues that are not positive, right? They had one team, he hurt everybody, they hurt everybody because it hurted everybody's income. I mean, people that had to travel to them literally had to spend their money, and they're not getting back that money. People that paid for their games to be played at their venue are not getting back that money. Right now they have 3 teams playing out at the Civic. That's $15,000 lost right there without getting back that money.
Wow.
I feel like the league should put in legal ways to get back that funds. But for the most part, that team was, I don't want to say a bad apple, but that's the best word to use it, from the get-go. They created this model. They wanted this model. when the model didn't go their way, they were like spoiled babies. I'm going to cry and take my ball and go home. Right? That's the best way to say it. You know, and narrative, they got out first. They painted their narrative. I was a part of the league. I told the league we should express what is happening before. They did it in writing. Belizean people don't like a lot of writing. So it was kind of like a he said, she said kind of thing, instead of putting out reasons why it happened. Yesterday, one of the coaches stepped away. It was to be said that that coach was going to be fired. That was going because he was kind of being disruptive in their organization. That's their organization. Apart from the revenues that defenders lost against that team, that's the only way it affected us. Otherwise, my team is focused. My team know what is to be done, and we're going to hit that stride, and we need to get to that stride and make a playoff run. Right?
Well, I think it's normal to have some hiccups when you're trying to establish something new, and this is new for the BBL.
We knew that it would be a lot. I mean, it's a big jump from where we were last year to where we are today.
Definitely.
Right? And I don't think any team felt like it was going to be a cakewalk, because from last year we had defenders had a serious problem with a double signing issue. We went into the season telling people, yo, we're willing to forget everything that happened. We're willing to be the bigger men. One of my team owners was attacked personally, his character. We're willing to look past all of that because of business and because we love the sport. We wanted the sport to grow. Everybody in the team, including that team, sat down and said, yes, we want it to grow. We're going to do what it takes to grow. And we all bought. Honestly, the defenders were the last team to buy into this new model. It wouldn't be the defenders, the Trojans, because the Trojans came in last. But the team's existing defenders were the last to buy into the model, because we were quote unquote scared. We didn't
hesitant.
No, it was literally we were scared. We don't know. We just had a bad issue last year, but we were willing to forego all of that for business and for the growth of the sport. We wanted people to know that we are for the sport. We want the sport to grow. We love the sport. We play the sport the correct way. We want to win the correct way. Everybody around the table, all owners, sat and said, yes, we're going to do it this way. Bam, things start. Everybody was to bring in sponsors. I think one of their sponsors came in with a low ball offer, and because of business, they didn't accept it. When they didn't accept it, that's when everything went down south for that team. Right? Like I said, that is it's unfortunate for the league, but I would want people to know or feel some sense of or foresight of growth. Right? Everything will have a couple hiccups. I've seen all the little murmurs on Facebook. It is what it is. But I know the league and the people, the owners, they are all supposed to want to have the urge to grow this. I mean, this is our version of the NBA. This is a lot of...
You know, I have to tell you, John, as much as there are hiccups internally, I can tell you from one of the spectators on the outside that we see the people interested in the product that you are offering. Not only as defenders, but as an entire league.
It gives Belizeans and upcoming young Belizeans that want to play the sport an opportunity to see it here at home before going out. And
I imagine that's one of the main purposes of this league in the first place. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Sorry. It is like we can see it when we played the Hurricanes. That was one of the biggest games. I think for Civic, that is the second biggest game held in the Civic. It was great to see Belizean people accepting, wanting, loving what is being sold to them. And while we feel like people are deterred that the league is top heavy, it is something to give people to do. It's positive things to bring your child to. It's positive things to have a family event to come to. you know, we feel like it is good entertainment, and like I said, basketball is an emotional sport. Sometimes you lose your emotion, sometimes the emotion get the better of you. But as players, they are to be held accountable. As owners, we are to be held accountable. As a league, we are to be held accountable. So we have to do whatever it takes to hold the people involved in the league accountable. Right? And like said, when things happen, penalties will be levied against team. I mean, yesterday they sent out some suspensions, and I'm like, it's kind of steep, you know. So,
but you have to get serious in order for people to take it.
we understand it. It is part of growth, but again, with part of growth, you have people who go against what is going to happen.
Well, that's in everything, right? Not just sports, but in everything. But I kind of want to switch back gears into the game. You are playing the Belmopan Trojans. What are you looking forward to the most besides winning? Looking forward to the most this time around?
Just executing our game plans, whatever that we're watching film on or whatever's being done in practice, just making sure that when game time is coming that we're doing the things that are just necessary to win.
Rich?
Yeah, just another opportunity to work together and, you know, try to move towards our goals, which is getting in the playoffs and the championship run.
I want to lighten the conversation a little bit.
It feels a little heavy.
And learn a little bit about our players that we have here. We have 2 pro players, one Belizean American and the other American. Let's learn a bit about you guys. I want to know, what do you do back home, where you came from, and why did you decide to come to Belize to play for Belize?
Okay, so I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. Back at home, I have my own exterior cleaning business.
Oh.
So back at home, I just kind of work, train. I have a 5-year-old daughter, so full-time dad.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And I came to Belize here 2017. I won a championship with Devin Daly. They were the Bandits back then, not the Trojans. So when I had my first time playing here, we won. I was just like, wow, that's my first time playing overseas basketball. Winning a championship. It was the best experience that I had.
Yes.
And then I just love the country, so I was like, I'm just gonna keep coming back.
And you have Belizean roots here as well, correct?
I don't.
You don't. So how has it been trying to pick up on the culture, the Creole, the food since you came?
It was pretty quick. I just kind of embraced everything that came along with it. The food was just always like the best thing. The Creole, it didn't really take too long. I don't know why. I just
because probably John schools in Creole.
You yell in Creole.
He really in Creole.
Yes.
Sometimes I try to do it in English. That's not as effective.
It's not as effective.
It's not as effective.
I love that.
Places. I really like that.
Well, let's get Fenton in the conversation. Let's talk about when you came to Belize the first time. What do you do back home? Where do you live? And who is Fenton?
So I grew up in Connecticut, which is like kind of near New York. But now I just been traveling. I was just in China and Hong Kong for a couple months playing basketball. So
wow.
So this is your career. Basketball is your career.
Wow. How do you get? How does basketball become a career in the first place? When there are so many people that are good at this sport, how do you compete with that, or how do you get recognized?
That's a good question, actually. I don't know.
just blessed.
You know.
Well, just to say, they have a ton of leagues. I mean, everybody would think the top league is the NBA. For me personally, the top league is also in Europe and also in China, right? So you have a lot of opportunities to make money. I mean, some money are crazier money than others, including the Belize League is a league that you make money. They were being paid to be here.
So this is their job.
This is their job. Both of them are professional players. When we say professional, I mean, I think Rich has been to, what else countries have you been to?
Chile, Saudi Arabia, Bolivia with Coach Tard. I used to coach for the Bandits. So a little South, a little Middle Eastern.
I really wish I
And
played basketball. Man, I
It's
could have been
travel the world a
basketball
little
is a
bit.
sport that
No,
takes you a lot of places. I mean,
Yeah.
So how do you find them? How do you outsource?
So in the case of Rich, we've been looking at Rich for a while. Last year we acknowledged like, yo, we need to go after Rich. We like his game. We think he's a piece that we would need. With Fenton is in the Belizean database because he has Belizean roots. He's a Belizean player.
All right, give us the connection of Belizean roots.
So my dad was born here.
Okay.
And then he moved to America when he was like 4.
Okay.
With, like his mom and his brothers and stuff like that.
And your family, they're from Belize City or another part of the
I
country?
think they're kind of from all over, like
Okay.
Dangriga, some Belmopan, some in the city.
So you could talk Creole.
Nah,
Can
I can't talk
No.
Creole. I can understand it, yeah.
Because you yell at them in Creole.
Yeah, you gotta leave the league. You gotta leave the season knowing at least a sentence in Creole, guys. Knowing how to ask for something.
You order in a Creole. Go order food in a Creole.
Defenders Pantry.
What?
That's my Creole.
Country.
By the end of the season,
They'll get it.
Rich, no, I leave it as Spanish.
Oh, really? So here's the thing, guys. You come on Open Your Eyes, you have to know how to say start your morning right.
Start your morning right.
Start your morning right. What does that mean?
Start your morning right.
Start your morning right.
Start your morning right.
So when you come on Open Your Eyes, it's because you're starting your morning right.
Is that a quiz for the next time?
Yes, this is the next time you guys come. Why do you come on Open Your Eyes? To start your morning right. And that's Creole. Okay.
So Creole 101 here on OIE. Thank you.
Yes. Well, guys,
we have to get a quick update on game, when, where, tickets.
Yes.
Done.
So the game is happening tomorrow. Tip-off time is 9 p.m. We open gates at 7:30. We have pre-events happening, music playing. You can win games. We boast that we give away resort stays per night. We don't give away one resort stay, we give away
Salty.
stays.
The salt.
We also have a ton of giveaways. Every break we have something you guys can win, gift packages, money. We have the big halftime 1, 2, 3 challenge sponsored by 1, 2, 3 Vegetable Oil. You have a chance to 45 seconds, you shoot a free throw, you win $100, you go to the 3-point line, you catch that 3-point line, you have to catch to advance, you go to the 3-point line, you win $200, so we're up $300. And if we go to the half-court shot and you catch that shot within the 45 seconds, you win $4,000.
Wow.
Right? We actually had someone winning it prior. But it was $3,000, then we upped it. Let's do $11,000 more for them.
Yeah.
You know, so after party is at the Shisha nightclub. Tonight we will be at Old River for the meet and greet. I mean, anybody, we invite you 6 to 8 p.m. We'll be there. All our guys will be there. Have a chit chat, get to know why people like the Defenders so much. They're very down to earth guys. And then tomorrow, tickets go on sale at 10 a.m. at the ticket
How much for a ticket?
booth. Court side is $40, VIP is $25, and general admission is $10. Kids under 12 is for $5. Belize, we urge you to come out. We need that 6-man energy. Sometimes our guys lack the little energy. We need to hear the little screams and even the boos to get them motivated.
No.
No, because sometimes we need that.
Yeah.
You need to
we
get
need to know that.
angry
Yeah, we
and
need to
then
know.
let the
Yeah,
motivation.
we're messing up, and
All right.
maybe they're not hearing it loud enough from the coach. That the fans
the crowd
tell them,
say
"Yo,
it.
guys, we need to win, man. We need a win. The Defenders need a win. We need to get back to winning ways. We plan to be back at winning ways. We ask the public to come out, cheer. You're our 6-man. We defend the city for Belize City, and then we
Come
win.
out.
Come
Who's
out.
the sponsors behind the organization?
Of course,
I'll
give you your chance. You have to big up your people.
So, of course, Moyo Uno, our platinum sponsor, the Honorable Anthony Mala, 123 Vegetable Oil, Channel 5, Old River Bar and Grill, Madisco, Innova, Mars Rental, Premier Charters and Tours, the BTB, Full Memory Photography, Channel 7, Body 2000, Night and Day Studios, Shisha 8, and Dolphin Productions for our fit.
All right.
All right.
Well, gentlemen, as we wrap up this segment, I'll give you an opportunity to share any final words. It could be anything. It could be an invite to the game or just a great experience you've had so far.
What's up, Rick?
I don't already have one. Just thanks for having us. Hopefully that all the fans come out and support us as we go against the Trojans tomorrow. And see you there. Appreciate it for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us, and hope to see all you guys there.
All right. All right, we're going to take our final break, and we will be back for wrap-up. Don't go away.
I Belizean. Of course, I will make sure the place clean, especially the places then where we treasure.
Iowa Belizean. Of course, I have a bag for my garbage in my car.
Iowa Belizean. Of course, I believe that all of we should do for we part to protect the environment.
Iowa Belizean. Of course, I teach my picnic from small enough to throw garbage on the ground.
Iowa Belizean. Of course, on and off the court. We unite as a team to keep Belize clean.
As Belizeans, let's trash the habit and not the beauty.
For 19 years, SMART has been the pulse of our nation. A journey of growth, innovation, resilience, and unity.
From the first call that bridged distances to the data that brought us closer than ever, SMART has been there, weaving threads of connection across our beautiful land.
We have been active in providing innovative solutions to enhance our customers' lifestyles. Over the years, SMART has developed and provided various services to meet customers' needs.
To the dreamers, doers, and the believers, thank you for making SMART a part of your story. For 19 years of trust, loyalty, partnership, and shared experiences.
As we celebrate 19 years of connecting lives and dreams, let's keep the rhythm alive. Together, let's continue to shape our future one connection at a time.
Come and be a part of the SMART family, where we empower you and our country today, tomorrow, and beyond.
SMART, bringing people together.
Upcoming enhancements to My Social Security. The new healthcare provider feature seamlessly connects healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers to facilitate the payment of sickness benefits. Here are the enhancements. Registered healthcare providers will create and submit online medical certificates using their healthcare provider accounts. Insured persons will receive a link to view the medical certificate to complete and submit their sickness benefit claim. And employers will receive an email notification of their employee's sickness claim. Also, the insured person and their employer will receive a copy of the claim decision letter after review. Healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers are encouraged to create a portal account to access and benefit from these new services on My Social Security at ssbportal.org.bz. My Social Security online portal. Social Security at your fingertips.
And welcome back. We want to say a big thank you to all of our guests for coming by, having the conversation with us, starting with the representatives for World Health Day. A big thank you to all of our guests from there. That was a great conversation about celebrating World Health Day and climate change.
Yes, absolutely. We also want to say thank you to our friends from the Belize Tourism Board who stopped by to talk about the upgrades to their online portal, as well as the Belize City Defenders who also stopped by to talk about their upcoming games tomorrow against the Belmopan Trojans. And definitely you want to stay tuned for that.
Definitely, indeed. And of course, we want to say a big thank you to you, our viewers, because without you, this would not be possible. It is April the 4th. And so it is your birthday today. We want to say a big happy birthday to you. We hope you have a wonderful day from all of us here in OYE. And if you have a birthday shout out or just a question or a comment, drop us a line right here at oye@channel5belize.com.
And you can also catch us on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BC.
And check out our highlights on Instagram at OYE Belize. And of course, do us a favor and join us again tomorrow when you open your eyes
to start your morning right.
Be sure to keep your eyes, your minds,
and your hearts open.
We'll see you real soon, Belize. It's going to be a cooler day today, but still nonetheless, be safe. Bye.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank.